Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and in this video you're going to learn how to subtract rational expressions with unlike denominators. But notice that there are some differences in relation to the last few videos that we've watched. Okay, so for example, in this case we have a binomial in the denominator. So what we need to do is find or determine if there's a GCF. And as you can see, there is a GCF because this can be factored as x times x plus 5 because they have x, this is x1, this is 5x, so they have x in common that we can factor out as GCF. And now notice that this one here has x plus 5 but doesn't have the x, which means that we need to multiply top and bottom by what it doesn't have. Okay, so once we do that, then this expression stays, the numerator stays as 4x plus 15, and the denominator is x times x plus 5. Now the second rational expression, so minus 1 times x, that's x, and then x times x times 5, so x times x plus 5, I'm sorry. So now we do have the same denominator, so then we just combine the numerators. But notice that this is minus, so that means this x is negative. So then it's like saying 4x minus 1x, that gives us 3x plus 15 over x times x plus 5. But then there's a GCF in the numerator, so I'm going to factor it out. The GCF is 3, so then 3 comes out, and then we have x plus 5 because 15 divided by 3 is 5, and then x times x plus 5. And I hope now you can see what we can cross out because we have x plus 5 in the numerator and x plus 5 in the denominator. So then in the end what's left is 3 over x. But don't forget, we must restrict the values of x so that we don't end up with something that's undefined. So the values of x that we cannot use here for this x, x cannot be equal to 0, and for this one, x cannot be equal to negative 5. So these are the restrictions along with the final answer. Okay, so let's go on to the next example. For the next example, we have x plus 3 in this rational expression, and in this one we have x squared minus 3x minus 18. So what we need to do is we need to find the multiples of negative 18 that when we add them, they add to a negative 3. And those multiples are x 3 and then x and 6. Okay, but then notice that in this case we have a negative 3 when we add them, so that means the 6 gets a minus and the 3 gets a plus. Because the product is negative, the sum is negative. So then for this one here, don't forget this is inside of a parentheses. Okay, so we're going to apply that negative in a moment. So keep the first, but no, not true. We need to, this one has the x plus 3, but doesn't have the x minus 6. So let's find the least common denominator, which is x minus 6 is the one that this one is missing. So x minus 6. And now, let's distribute this 4 to the x, so then that becomes 4x, and then 4 times negative 6, that's minus 24. And then I'm going to distribute this negative, so minus the x, this x becomes negative, that 33 becomes positive, because you have negative times negative. And then denominator, now we have the same denominator. So x plus 3 times x minus 6. And then combine like terms in the numerator. So we have 4x minus 1x, that's equal to 3x. Negative 24 plus 33, that's equal to 9. So 3x plus 9 over x plus 3 times x minus 6. Then there's a GCF in 3 and 9. So then that becomes GCF is a 3 and then x plus 3 over x plus 3 times x minus 6. And now we can see what we can cross out. So this x plus 3 and that x plus 3, we can cross them out. So then we have left the 3 in the numerator and x minus 6 in the denominator. But then from here, the last step is to state the restrictions on the value of x. So x cannot be equal to negative 3, because that will give us a 0 in the denominator, and x cannot be equal to positive 6, because that will give us a 0 in this denominator. Okay, so this is the answer to this problem. So that's example number 2. For example number 3, same idea. We need to factor out this quadratic trinomial. So then we need to find the multiples of positive 12 that when we add them, they add to a negative 6. Okay, so for this one here, what I'm going to do is, since they have to add to a negative 7 and have to multiply to positive 12, that means they both should be minus. It's going to be x minus and x minus. Okay, multiples of 12 that add to 7 are 3 and 4. Right, they're both negative, so that means that's minus 7, negative 3 times negative 4, that's positive 4, but I mean positive 12. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to notice that this one has the x minus 4, but it doesn't have the x minus 3, so then multiply numerator and denominator by x minus 3. Okay, and then so let's see for this one, I'm going to leave this one as it is. So that's x squared minus 11. And then let's see. So I'm going to leave it like this for now. Okay, and then I'll simplify once I'm ready, or we're ready. So x minus 3 times x minus 4. And then this is, let's see. Well, let's multiply at once. I think we can do this. So to not make it longer. So we have minus x times x, that's x squared. X times negative 3, that's negative 3x. 1 times x, that's 1x. So negative 3x plus 1x is minus 2x. And then let's see, 1 times negative 3, that's a negative 3. And this looks funny, so let me just rewrite it. I mean, you don't have to. So this is x minus 3 times x minus 4. I rearranged them, but that's fine. It's the same thing. So then combine like terms. So notice this x and that x squared cancel. And then we have, let's see, negative 2x minus, and this one here. See, I'm making a mistake here. Let me pause the video, come back. Okay, so what I've done is, see, I lost that negative. Okay, once I distribute this negative, then this x squared becomes negative x squared. And negative times negative is positive, so this becomes positive 2x. Negative times negative 3, that's a positive 3. Once I distribute that negative, so this is a mistake that you can make that I made. I forgot to distribute that negative to all three terms. Okay, so don't do what I did on the assignment. So then this x and that x cancel, right? But then we have what's left is 2x, which is coming from here. And negative 11 plus 3, that's a negative 8. And denominator is x minus 3 times x minus 4. But don't forget, you can also have x minus 4 times x minus 3. So from the numerator, I'm going to factor out a GCF of 2. So we have 2 times x minus 4 over x minus 3 times x minus 4. So then these two match, so I'm going to cross them out. So the answer to this is 2 over x minus 3, but now restrictions on the values of x for x minus 3. X cannot be equal to 0, I mean not 0, positive 3, and for x minus 4, x cannot be equal to positive 4. Okay, so these are the restrictions on the values of x that will give us a 0 in the denominator. And that is all for this lesson. And thank you for watching the video. And also, I'm sorry about the mistakes that I made, but as you can see, I corrected them. So if that happens to you, don't be afraid to be wrong, but then correct yourself when you're wrong. Okay, I'll see you in class. Bye-bye.